Hello, everybody. So I just wanted to first state that I know I've got this big, fancy pillow behind my back. It doesn't have to be big or fancy, but it just happens to be. But behind my neck and shoulders. Um, I hope that you will not mind. Throughout the day, and I've noticed it the past hour quite strongly, but um, I've been feeling aches, and so it helps a little bit to have that extra propping. Um, I may be a little bit under the weather. Um, it's actually starting to feel more and more like COVID. Uh, Two of my things are still going to take some planning. I was hoping to go to a couple things, at least one thing with the local festival, and also some bike riding while it's still bike riding weather, and possibly out to lunch with a neighbor. Although I can't remember how often she said that she goes to the place that we're thinking of. Um, but yeah. So hopefully I won't get too sick, or should I say seasick? Sorry, our dog's already being distracting. Um, but you know what? It was kind of good because I think I needed to get up and stretch for a few minutes here. Now, um, oops. Um, I kind of don't want to go anywhere until I know that there's at least one person here happy to chat. Because even though more are, welcome and having a lovely chat with various people can be great. Um, One or two can really make a nice time as well. But just because one or two is doing it, yeah, like I say, doesn't mean that more can't. Um, I kind of, I guess, feel like I should state why I'm rolling, even though I seem a little bit distracted and under the weather, slightly. Um, One, aside from the fact that I've still got about 2 hours, just a little under 2 hours before the other person in the home gets home, and I'm just trying to keep myself awake because I usually have a nap later anyway, um, and I'm bored. That's one reason. There was somebody there for like a minute or less. The other reason is because, but either back, somebody else is here, is because I was just watching one of my favorite live streamers. Just sometimes I can't think I don't like about. Oh, hello. Hi, Melissa. Happy to see you here. I don't remember your last name. Um, yeah, thanks for your understanding, and we have lots of laughs and enjoy the good music, don't we? And I know right before he finished the music, there was a or the video, there was a guy, I think it was a guy, I don't know, I don't even remember the username at the moment, um who had said something about he wanted more of this. So I had said, well, I could tell that because I think that's his closing song. I almost want to do the checking in song, even though it's mildly a trigger to me because it's about a personal place, locally. Um, but and I know what you meant by the mild typo. But at first, I did think you were talking about TikTok, which I don't use. But anyway, really just this one other social media and email. Anywho, um, so I knew that he was kind of doing his final song, and I thought. So is this actually the third video of mine you've seen? I thought it's the second because it's only been about a week. But anywho, and then I noticed right as Lacey was wrapping up the video, the guy said how. So I thought, oh, if he happens to be able to find my channel and notices that I'm live, and even if he didn't, if he found the channel, that's kind of how. um, yeah, it was interesting. Interesting things in common with people, interesting coincidences, and yeah. So I know you just heard a bunch of music, so I don't know. I don't know what time it is where you live in the world. I don't even really remember where that is, or if I ever knew. I saw you playing guitar, but I didn't chat. Maxie brings out the talker in me. And it seems like I do too a little bit, which is cool because, what you say has value and means a lot to us creators, even if you don't post videos yet yourself. Yeah, I'm curious what you saw me playing on the guitar. But okay. Well, at least say a quick, at least say, even if there's times where you don't feel that chatty, just say hi, I'm here to listen. Then I'll know at least who one of the numbers at the top is indicating. But yeah, I'm curious what you heard me playing. And I feel that everybody is mostly a bit of both. Like I'm often kind of middle of the spectrum with a lot of things, and I think most people are kind of introvert, extrovert, but they may be one more strongly. Yeah, I've made some connections there too. I mean, they're all fairly new. And there was a little while where I wasn't posting for about a week or so, because of a festival that had me kept me quite busy and stuff. But so I haven't seen a lot of them. I think all of them on. I think you might be the first one that I've seen on 2 of my videos. You might be. Oh, and I almost remember it. So it wasn't earlier today then, I guess. By the way, whereabouts in the world do you live? And here it's just after 3 in Canada. Oh, right, of course, I remember that. And what time is it in Alaska? Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Well, I'm glad I'm not in Alaska then, because this day has been kind of long. But, it's only half over. Yes, that would be Big G that you saw playing the piano. I don't remember. We haven't, unfortunately, done a video with each other in quite a while. But you may have been finding old content. I'm not sure. We tried to the other day. We tried to do a Jason Mraz song. He was doing something else. I played it for him, the actual video, and I said, "Can you do this rhythm?" I tried to say it's on the, certain beat, blah blah. I was very surprised he wasn't getting it, and so I didn't. I think I maybe let him know I'm about to do that song, and he later kind of shared that he didn't. What do you mean? Oh, a long day. He didn't feel like he was figuring it out just on a simple drum. Actually, I was very surprised, very, but whatever. Very. Anyway, so I know you've heard Maxie do a bunch of music, so and you're the only one here. Oh, and you know what's interesting about that? On YouTube and here we try to have a bit of anonymity, and don't necessarily want to be found off of YouTube. I mean, unless it's a good thing, of course. And I mean, or another site maybe. I don't know. But so I don't usually show him because he's kind of unique looking. And yeah, so unless the other person on this channel did when I wasn't around. But yes, he is cute. You're right. Oh, of course. Oh, well, yeah. I guess when we first got him, and he was extra puppy cute, and we were seeing other fun things he did, like the peanut butter spoon or the other things. The other day, we got him spinning in funny circles, when I was just kind of taking my shirt and going, or my sweater, and kind of going like this at him. And yeah, he's got a lot of character. Sometimes he's annoying and silly, but we love him. Short videos, not actual shorts. Anywho, so I know that you've heard a lot of, and again, you're the only one here, so I really do appreciate it. I know that you've just heard a lot of music from Maxie, so I don't know if there's any particular songs you'd like to hear me try and do. What kind of animals and pets do you have, by the way? If you have any, it sounds like you might. But yeah, if you have a song request, feel free to put it. At least I got a little bit of counter cleaning here. If you have a topic request, other than what we've talked about, I mean, I know that I alluded to some things that are hopefully coming up for me. I mean, the one of them, and there'd be maybe a little bit we could say about that. And I don't just want fun conversation, nice comments on songs is great. But I also, it's obviously, or I hope it's obvious, the more we see in my channel, it's also very obvious it's also very important to know that others are doing well. To me, that's fairly important. So if there's something you feel like is going on in your life that you want to kind of get some support around or just let out, you can do that here, for the most part. Like I know that there was a guy at Maxie's and he was saying some things and I was not sure what to think. So I was kind of, and especially with that, But I mean, I'm not saying don't enjoy Maxie, right? Oh, that's interesting, the tag. But life's hard. We gotta help each other make it easier, right? Now I do just have to run upstairs for a few quick minutes. So all that stuff, or some of that stuff that I said that maybe you've been thinking I want to say something on, but you haven't had a chance to yet. Now's your opportunity. I'll be back in about 5 minutes. So like I say, topics, songs, what type of Pitbull. Okay, but I mean someone has to own them, right? And it's older, okay. And I wonder if it's common that a lot of people have pit bulls and cats. I know that I once knew of somebody who had a Great Dane, and they're gentle. They're big, gentle dogs most of the time. In fact, somebody has one in our area. A new person has one in our area, and it was wild. It was the day that dogs came trampling through our garden because there was somebody else, who'd been sitting out the front for a while, that much, that went by and his dog came through and it was like a collie, a border collie or whatever. Don't see those very often. I don't. And then maybe 2 hours, an hour or so later, this Great Dane, we'd seen it in the area a few times. And this lady, it's a new dog to them. She's trying to train it, whatever. And thanks for the like, by the way. I'm pretty sure it came from you. Yeah, I don't know if I remember that stuff, but I know you did. But it makes it look good too, so I appreciate it. Because we all know it is good, right? At least some of it. Anywho, I don't remember a few post content as well, but anyway, yeah. And it actually, and not only that, we have. I don't know if I should be too specific, but we aren't the only. Well, it is kind of unique. Let's just say that I had to lightly toss our dog inside, and that. Well, actually, we're lucky the dog didn't get inside too, but he came bounding up our steps. And yeah. That's okay. I don't remember what it was anyway, and it was nothing hugely important. I do sometimes alter the ad settings, like if I know that it's something that I really want extra focus on, where I know that I might be a bit more rapid and I won't be pausing myself. I also still don't understand how, like I understand how ads can bring revenue. I've never noticed that's a bit lower than that one, but I don't understand how. But if somebody wants to donate, then it shouldn't matter what ad frequency you select. And I don't exactly know how it works. I know back in the day, this channel made some money. And of course, we're still open to that. It's not just about that, but it helps. We kind of went through a long and tedious thing the other day and ended up making some money after it. But yeah, we got a second person here. And yeah, I'm not that technical either, technically. Yeah, since I started this video, and actually probably about 10 or 15 minutes before, there has been something that I have been kind of needing to run upstairs and do. Now, yeah, and if you're unemployed, yeah, I mean, I don't know if you are, but I am, mostly. But that's something I kind of want to talk about, some of the things I have upcoming. Yeah, I wasn't quite asking, but no, I understand, and thanks for letting me know that. So, I figured it wasn't just me, but and who else do we got watching? And we're from one other person there. It's interesting to know, actually. It is interesting to remember. I try not to take it personally anyway, as you may have noticed, but that sometimes somebody who's watching and isn't saying anything is actually somebody that has chatted with us before and enjoyed it. Again, a nice, a quick even if you don't feel like doing, very much of it, a quick hi, I'm here listening, good to see you, kind of thing is always good. Um, oh well, thank you, and you as well. However, again, yeah, like I say, I would really love to elaborate a bit more on the me, you. Interesting that you say that. Elaborate a bit more on the things that I was alluding to in Maxie's chat. It's kind of the things upcoming, but I do really quickly have to run upstairs for like 5 minutes. Probably less, honestly, but it depends how much I'm able to focus, knowing that there's two of you down here waiting. But hey, oh, and I see you retracted that one comment, but I did see it. I'm not disagreeing. Here's the thing. I think most of us get lonely sometimes, right? And it's that finding that balance. When you have an imbalance, they sometimes say that it can be very unhealthy. Let's put it that way. I'm thankful for the internet and the person I live with who does work a lot, and our dog. But a dog is great that they're not human, but sometimes you might want them to be, so they can understand things a bit differently, right? Although, of course, they do in their own way. But yeah, if I'm being completely honest, I mean this current chapter, it kind of came out of it a little bit, and it still is. But in comparison, it could stand to a little more. And I do sense some things coming up, aside from like digital, up things, that, and I would love to say a little bit more about them. But again, I'm struggling to focus because I do have to quickly run upstairs. So I'll be right back. It's lovely having you both here. Take me another minute or two, but okay, glad you're both here still. So let me move over to the living room. Although honestly, we live in the whole house, isn't it weird when they call it the living room? um, and yes, so let's see here. I had mentioned both of you may have seen this. I'd mentioned in the other live chat, um, that I want to do a couple of music videos, like not just me playing at home, and actually for space reasons, especially. I'm thinking, Mars, Venus, all that stuff. Sorry, I'm thinking that it probably won't be here. I hope it can be on my channel. I won't say the other one. I'm hoping it can be on my channel, but that would require me being able to access it on my Wi-Fi. If it's not, what I thought I could do is I could, somebody else record it, and then I can just film the screen and upload it. I'm just actually going to see if I have an update on that. Oh, right, that because I did actually put the feelers out there. Um, one of them actually transpired in a kind of a special way. I don't know why you're saying his name, but it'd be so cool if he sees my video sometimes. I don't know what time it is in Germany, but and it's actually also Bayer. But have you been following him a long time out of curiosity? No, I was saying I won't say the other planet. I think it's obvious which one. I think Pluto. No skin. Actually, is Pluto even still a planet? I haven't heard of it in ages. Oh, not super long then. Okay. Um. Anywho, so yeah, one of them that transpired, you may have noticed that I was mentioning um, a friend that passed away and his mother who recently passed away at the age of 104. Um, I happened to remember when I came across one of the groups I was in. Is a Nikki, is my Nikki, but yes, I also have lost a loved one named Ray, and if you I did like an 18-minute one, kind of the one before this video I did, and you retracted your anyway, and and by the way, to the second viewer who's been here for a while, I'm hoping you end up liking because you seem to be, and subscribing if you haven't already. I appreciate it. But yeah, basically, in a nutshell, um, my I like that you're trying to engage them as well. Some people, it's really hard for whatever reason. But my neighbor knows this friend who passed away, and they are elderly people who do not get out and about very much. And then one day I say that I hardly ever see her husband going out, and he must walk with the cane. I think it was the first time I've seen him walking with a cane. I've been here 8 years. That being said, the kind of family we sort of have, and it's not just us, and it's not even ones that we don't necessarily like that we've had a complete fallout with. It's just the kind of family we have. The sister was here the other day, and her granddaughter, and the neighbor said, "You are familiar to me," and I think they both agreed on that. But it was as if they were being introduced to each other for the first time. Um, the granddaughter also asked something interesting of the two of us, which I mean, anyway. But yeah, so basically, the one music video that I hope to do, and if you have song requests, feel free to put them. I could maybe do one or two, but is based on the song that I did in the first video I did today, I believe. I know it was today. It was the really long one. It got long, lost track of time, and it got long. And I was also waiting for some activity, um, and it is near the end of the video. That I can tell you. And it's a Lucas Graham song. And I'd love to do a cover of it, and it's calling for a choir. And there's another one, I can't remember what it is without referencing that video. Plus, doing music with others is just fun, and I want to do more of it again. So, and then, ooh, my neck. And then, do you remember what the other thing was? I know I mentioned the drop-in center thing I want to do. But I feel like I did kind of say, oh, well, it probably wouldn't take that much effort just to say that 18-minute one that I was telling you about, or approximately 18 minutes, to say that this particular friend was a server at a restaurant that also has music nights. And I'm hoping that I'll go for lunch with them sometime soon and say, hey, I just wanted to let you know I knew Ray. She was a good friend of mine, like a sister. And I think that she would think it was very special because I can't make it out to these music nights, easily. I don't live in the area, etc. And I'm here with a neighbor, the L person. I'm here with a neighbor, and who actually hasn't really heard me musically. And could I sing a song or two in her honor? I didn't make it to the event because I found out after the fact. When it happened. Um, and gosh, I would hope they would say yes to that. You know, so I'm going to ask the neighbor to give me a bit of a heads up because I'm going to have to decide what I'd want to sing. It is going to be, like I said, a bit awkward because her husband has Alzheimer's and deafness, and but again, I think he knows that, I think, and I think he's used to kind of just smiling and nodding, and that made me think of the song "Smile and Wave," which I'm not very familiar with, and I couldn't find a good version of it, but it seems to be ironically by the Headstones. But she was creaming. Well, yeah. Anyway, but if you have any song requests, feel free to put it below. Um, the other thing was that I'm hoping to open a drop-in center, and I did an interesting meditation visualization. It took me a bit to kind of settle into the actual meditation. That was a long video, and actually, the last half of it, one of Maxie's fans that I've connected with, that you are familiar with, actually came in and chatted for a while. I don't know what this L person is about, by the way. Um, I've taken a couple of steps just because I didn't know what you meant. Didn't mean you had to take the message out. um, and I guess we'll see. Um, it's hard because I know that there is one step I could take that would be not that the one that I did today and even the other one were not necessarily great. I'm hoping there's not a weird coincidence about something, but um, maybe I should just be open and honest about it because it's not a bad thing. Although one person on the on the post that I made said that's not what our area needs. Um, it needs a lot of things, but I thought you made a new friend and her name started with L. It's possible. Is there someone that I would think you know as well? What made you? What's making you think that? Now you have me curious. It's possible at the group. Oh, yeah, I get mild typos. Her name started with M, and the other one I couldn't remember her name. And the other one was so freaking soft spoken, I could barely hear anything she said. I mean, it was nice that she was so gentle, but like, I can't hear you. I mean, I'm not. My ears aren't that old and bad. Um, but um, but but anyway, basically, um, like I say, this isn't a bad thing, so why not say it? So there's and I won't be maybe super specific, and I did mention it in the. Oh, I'm sorry. You seem to be doing really good, I think, but I did mention it in the video, and like I say, in a very interesting way because it was like a visualization, and it was not just for me, so it was a very kind of in-depth meditation, good for people that don't do that kind of stuff very often, and it wasn't honestly just meditation. Anywho, and that was just yesterday. And there's a house in New Orleans they call the Rising Sun. Is that the lyric? Did they call the house the Rising Sun? I'm just processing that now in a certain way that makes me question it. Anywho, there's a house in our neighborhood. I recently saw them load up a vehicle, including a U-Haul truck, and move. About 3 weeks ago, though. No sign has went up. Nobody else has moved in. Um, and about a week, almost two after they moved out, there was a sign on their door. So I figured, okay, they don't live here anymore. I'm curious. And I went and looked. And I even did try and take a picture because I didn't want to hang around too long, although it was blurry. And hopefully I won't be one for much longer. But anyway, I know. And basically, I found out, and I hadn't known this, and it's kind of ironic because, well, I've had a neighbor Dan, my mother's had a neighbor Dan. Have they been Dapper Dans? One of them I disliked. The other one I'm not really in touch with. But um, anywho, makes me think of a song which ironically almost came up in the Maxi one, but I don't think. Well, a song from that he may have known and maybe could have done, but I don't think he would have known much of the other ones. But I could be wrong. Anywho, so I didn't take note of the rental agency's name. It sounded like they'd been evicted. It sounded like, they were saying, asking, "Do you still live here? Please contact us." The sign has since went. There was once a plumber that tried to go there. I don't think they got in. There was two other guys. They were in the yard once. They were on phones. They did get in. Somebody seems to be taking mail a little bit, like mostly flyers, and it's not a huge mailbox either. But I mean, they can only hold so much anyway. Um, and I think he got in. He was doing something inside the doorway briefly, and then the one time about a week ago, because it's going on 3 weeks, I was coming up the lane, and I saw two people again at the doorway, two different people, a man and a woman, older woman. I don't know how old the man was, but I don't think he was old. And I haven't seen them since. And I mean, I don't know if it's just that I'm used to seeing them coming and going more often, the people that live there, or what. I mean, there's still curtains in the window, but they may have just left those behind. So I can't. Um, Anywho, so basically, um, it's not boarded up or anything. No, not to one. But I truly think that hopefully that didn't resonate specifically with somebody, and hopefully if so they didn't get a bad impression. But I truly think that it has been abandoned. It's empty, and they don't seem to be rushing to get somebody else in. And one of the goals that I have is to have a drop-in center for mental health, music, healing, wellness. Um, Support group kind of things. And it's nice and nearby, which, as a non driver who doesn't like going on the bus, that's a perk. Um, Interesting. And so today I tried to connect with somebody nearby to them, let's say that. And they had curtains too. And I was mentioning in the other video, I saw them moving, like the curtains moving. I didn't see a person. I don't know if it was just a cat or a dog moving around them, or an air conditioning or what. But honestly, I haven't seen people around that for even longer. I have seen at the garage a few times, but and anyway, so I've I've put something out there, um, and I'm hoping to hear back. I don't really know what else to do. The only other thing that I could think to do to kind of get the ball rolling, and I wasn't really comfortable doing it myself. There was somebody, at least one person, I could have asked. Um, Interesting. To reach out to her because uh, I'm not sure if I knew her name, but she has an older daughter who, not long before they moved, I found out her name, but she seems to go by two different first names, but whatever. I kind of do, sort of. Well, you're the only one here, so. But anyway, so basically, a lot of us do, but it depends on the change and if it's a good change or not, right? Anywho, so basically, and if you're talking about like coins, no, I pretty good with it. Um, but what? Why do you ask? Anyway, so basically, I'm just curious why you're asking. Um, but I did remember her name on the paper that was on her door, and I have found her on social media. I do, but I'm so curious why you're asking, and we have a second person here, and I'm curious to hear from them. But I haven't felt comfortable reaching out. Um, I don't. I think let's leave that at that for now. I don't know if the person that just tuned in has been here before or not. Um, I've been told that, for the most part, mostly a good thing. I'm not. I'm still not quite following what you're saying, but and yes, if there's a song request, feel free to put it. Um, Out of curiosity, what town are you in? Just out of pure curiosity. La la, I got the song in my head again. La 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 la. You may have mentioned before, but I don't remember. Oh, I was I was asking what town you're in, or what town, city, whatever. Just wondering. I'm nowhere near that place anyway, and I won't repeat that part. Okay, cool. No, I don't think I've heard of it. But anywho, yeah. So at this point, if there's a song request you'd like to put, I'll do it. I'm curious why the second person's being so quiet. I was looking at a playlist. Um, no need to be shy. You know, Miles would love to engage with you. One moment. Not expecting anyone, so. It's a bit of a trigger, and it's not quite the right season, but this is now the third song I'm waiting till it's a little bit of a different time of year. But it just got some leaves from our plant, and that made me think of a song. Mamas and the Papas, anyone? Any particular one, or play anything that's not specific enough? um, and to the second person, I mean, I think I'm likable, and easy to get along with. So, not shy. Or maybe you're not even at the screen at the moment. You were, and then you wandered off and just stayed here. Oh, you left. Okay. Okay, now I don't have to wonder. But it does make me wonder though if hopefully they didn't note when they left. It makes me wonder if they may have. I mean, because it can be a small world. Like my example about the neighbors knowing my friend that passed away. I mean, yes, we're in the same city, but again, they don't get out much. And when she said the place, like I thought I heard right, but I thought maybe I didn't because I thought they wouldn't go to that kind of place. But at lunch hour, on a Thursday, it might not be that. I don't know. It's more of a popular place at night, I think. Wait, the second person's back, or someone else is here. Um, well, thank you. And I noticed that one of Maxi's viewers said that about him, about Maxi, who is very used to it, and for the most part, so am I. Um, you know, and that was really nice that he kind of pointed that out. Um, but yeah, um, but anyway, let's just say I know that a certain someone would know, but it just doesn't feel comfortable to ask them. I mean, part of me thinks they wouldn't really care. They're not there anymore. But it's kind of a couple other reasons why I think it though. But yeah, so let's try and think of a song. We might need the other viewers' help because my mind's a bit of a blank. Part of me wants to just say, but I know we're enjoying each other's company, and I can probably go for another 15 minutes. Okay. I'm guessing it's still you here, Melissa. But then again, I'm not so sure because, like, every now and then the indicator isn't even accurate. Like, it'll say one and then it'll go to none. And it's like, oh, you left. And then it's like, oh, I'm still here. You still see two? That's strange, isn't it? I'll see two. So we're our dog. Now it went to one. Yeah, sometimes there's a delay. Okay, well, now that we're both seeing one, I'll just say the reasons why I'm unsure is because she was a little bit awkward. We'd asked for a favor. Yeah, we weren't super close, but we had some contact with them. I mean, they lived nearby. And actually, I don't even, it must have been the daughter that was kind of stupid. I think they realized afterwards. And so they just didn't make a thing of it. Maybe they realized they were going to be moving. Maybe they realized it was a silly request to ask of someone who lived just across the street, essentially. Now it says two. So, but, and now it says one again. That's really odd. Anywho, but, basically, and but then again, if I'm recognizable, I'm recognizable. I mean, I'm not a bad person. I had asked, basically, I wasn't really looking. I was just in a foyer, which their house is in view of. They do have big trees, which I would have thought would have been big around then because this was only like 2 or 3 months ago. But you can still kind of see. Anywho, and basically, I was needing to get some medical tests done, and it was a very windy day. So having somebody nearby with a vehicle was handy. And again, we weren't super close, but whatever. I thought we were good as neighbors with each other. And I'd asked her, and I had our internet and phone and stuff, and I don't have a cell phone right now, had dropped. I don't remember why, that something in the area, and I called my spouse and then ended up booking a service call for someone to come, and I'd borrowed their phone. And so I had the number. So I texted it and said, I noticed that they just left, or that she just left, but if she's back shortly before this, time, we should be able to bring me nearby to do this. Pretty much we're not going to do any favors, and don't watch our house. I think she said, please, but I wasn't, I live so nearby that all I have to do is look outside and I'm going to notice, so then I started to get a little bit like paranoid. Like I tried not to look, but like naturally you look around, and I think they realized that afterwards that was a hello, Coco G tag. Have you just gotten here, or have you been here for a while, coming and going perhaps? It's nice to hear from you. I'm curious where you're watching from in the world. But yeah, I think they realized, okay, cool. Nice to have you here. Oh, lucky you. And that's actually kind of ironic. Yeah, I guess so. But I thought it was weird because it was kind of like, hard not to. And I think, like I say, they literally realized, because there were times where I was pretty sure they would occasionally notice that I was glancing, and they didn't say anything to me. So that did start to make me a bit more comfortable. The one time he was shouting something out the door, I thought it was to me. I think he was calling their cat, to be honest. We have 3 people here. Welcome. So yes, if you have a song request, feel free to put it below. Nice to see people interacting with each other here. But so it just felt iffy. Plus, I also thought, what if she said, how did I don't feel good, but if I had somebody do it, how do you know who I am? I thought maybe she could say, oh, my dad is in the area and noticed a sign or whatever. I don't know. Yeah, I play piano and guitar and I sing. I am a little bit under the weather. I know it seems like I've got a lot of energy, but I'm feverish. I'm not super duper achy at the moment, but I have been for a lot of the day. But I can try and do 1 or 2. Yeah, piano, guitar, sing. I mean, I do bongos, but not usually much and by themselves. I want to start doing more with that new instrument that does have the notes on it, but it's going to take some practice to figure out songs. But eventually, I'll be able to. I guess I'm thinking there's other stuff I know I play. I mean, they say that the harp ripdalia is a pentatonic instrument or whatever, so you can pretty much sound great regardless of what you do. So we do have a bit of a harp, or we do have a harp. It's not a full size, but it's a full harp. And apparently, and the piano is, of course, a harpsichord type instrument as well. And then I've played saxophone decently in the past, but not currently. And I've played trumpet less decently in school in the past. And so, of course, not currently. Yeah, I guess that is all of them. But I also I'm fairly diverse with what I play. So I guess that's what I'm thinking. I feel like I'm still missing something, and I think that's why. So yeah. That being said, that's an interesting suggestion. Like I did some pretty deep and good ones earlier. It's true. One of them, two of them, I still have open. If you guys are into Lucas Graham or Bobby Goldsboro. However, I did see you say Into the Mystic. I don't think I hate that song, and I think I know it. I could also do Forever Young if although I'm getting older by the minute. you know. Into the Mystic. I can't spell at the moment. Van Morrison? Okay. I think I know this one, so I'll give it a try. I feel like I actually played it not super long ago. And when I do music, it is usually on here, but I can't say for sure I did, and you may not have heard it. So, what instrument you want, by the way? Yeah, this is an interesting one. Again, I don't think I hate it, so why not? What instrument you want? Don't tell me to decide because I'm no good at that. I need to hear Maxie's decision song a few more times, I think. Piano, not fidget spinner. This is a new one we got. It's very heavy. Ooh, it was wobbly. Ooh, that's got to be tightened. If it can be. Yeah, okay. The colors are somewhat ironic. Okay, we've got piano and guitar, and I can't do them both at the same time. Okay. Okay. That's nice of you to consider their desires first. But yeah, yeah. Okay, and we got 3 of you here. Okay, so piano it is then. Just don't get back into guitar, but I've been playing it, so it's good. I currently don't know where that pick is. I did. That's not good. Oh, here it is. Okay, I'm just gonna put it in here. Okay, so piano it is. ALR. What the heck is that? I know a lot of abbreviations. I'm not one that doesn't know many of them, but I don't think I know that one. Air piano. Is that what you meant? You're both kind of saying it. Oh, really? Okay. I guess I just don't use that one. We got a third person here. Don't forget to like and subscribe because you said it's your first time here. So I don't know if I want the AC off or not. It's kind of a soft song. And I'm feeling. I'll turn it off for a moment just to do this one at least. And if you have any other song requests, I can go for another 20 minutes probably. I know I said 15 about 20 minutes ago, maybe, but thanks for the like. Okay. I'm going to put the piano down because it's sick and old. And no, I'm sorry. I don't mean to make a bad joke, which that kind of was because I've been through that with pets. Oh, you couldn't. Okay, well, that's one of you anyway. Oh, my goodness. I feel like I need a massage today. Just saying. Just putting that out there. If anybody who's curious. Okay. Okay, I don't want to spend forever looking for that particular thing, although it's weird because I did just have it, and now I don't know where it is. But that's okay, because I'm a lumberjack. Anyway, okay. Sorry about that. Okay. So, Into the Mystic. One of you knows that, possibly all of you know it. It briefly said 3, but I'm happy that you're both here. Let's see here. Where did I open it? Okay, so here we go. The chapstick, if you're wondering. And it's not if you're not. All right. Whew. And then I think the meditation one, I still think it's a good idea to show them that before bed. And then this one, or one of the other ones, more content. Maxie's was really worth a second watch, so often is, but that was a real good one. Okay, here we go. Auto scroll. And that's the song. Just kidding. We were born for the wind. This really is the letters, but here outside with the door closed. Also younger than the sun. Here the body boat was one as we sailed into the misty. Hark now, hear the angels cry. Smell the sea and feel the sky. Let your soul and spirit fly into the misty. He has a didgeridoo. That's one thing we have, but I'm no good at it. And when the foghorn blows, and I'll be coming home. Yeah, when that foghorn blows, I want to hear it, and I don't have to fear. And I want to rock your gypsy soul, just like way back in the days of old. Magnificently we will flow. Ironic, I said I played saxophone at one point in time. Here's the sax solo. If anybody plays saxophone, whip it out. Hurry, quick, and play C. Not much of a solo, but when the foghorn blows, and then it just repeats. That was kind of fun. I can't even hear. Okay, and when the foghorn blows, nice saxophone. It shows that nobody's here right now. Is that accurate? It might not be, so I'll wait to find out. And also, oddly, it shows one less like. I don't know if that was intentional or not. It might not have been. Or was my singing a little too powerful? And I don't know. People like when people sing big. I seem to find. I didn't take a like away. Yeah, maybe he accidentally had to go and he accidentally clicked it on his way out. Well, actually, I shouldn't say the gender because I don't know. I would think Coco is either a female or a middle name or maybe abbreviations. Honestly, it could be a drag queen too, and I'm fine with that. And if the individual is here and hears me say that, like I say, I'm fine with that. I'm not meaning to be rude or anything, but it'd be kind of cool to have a drag queen watching. Actually, we have a drag queen playing. No, just kidding. I'm not quite that way. Not quite. We have a second person watching. Sorry. Too much about what other people think you're worthy. It's important that you like yourself. Well, thank you. Oh yeah, I mean, I'd say so because I have to exist with myself all the time. So I mean, might as well try and like myself, but sometimes I don't. Um, there's a couple songs about that. I mean, I know people ask about creep all the time. That's a deep one, but there's a couple other songs. I can't think of what they are at the moment. I've recently heard "She Hates Me," but then there's others that love me. So yeah, no, it's a song. And then there's a Pink song I probably covered before. Recently, I did actually. Oh yeah, I hardly ever do these. I saw an old person do them recently. I can't remember who it was. Oh right, that lady. So there was this lady. She had a hard time following her chat. It was quite active, but she did pretty good. I don't know where she lived in the world, but she had all these interesting things behind her, all these hanging things, and all these. And at one point, I guess once it got dark or whatever, they lit up. And apparently, again, careful putting your address out there, right? And by the way, I think there's only you here now. I hope you won't mind. I was curious to put a face to the name. I don't know if you could send a picture of yourself here, even just briefly. I'm curious if that would work. But I had quickly tried to look you up on social media, but I didn't find you with the place you said you were from. But anywho, so apparently her friends and her fans sent her most all of it. And I'm not kidding. Like she took a tour. She gave a tour that lasted about 10 minutes. It was like Vegas in her yard, but not quite. Which reminds me, I did a very interesting song earlier in this morning's podcast that was pretty much kind of alluding to whether you believe in Jesus or God or not, Jesus being in a club, accepting all the sinners. So yes, it was calling all these certain things sins. Whether I agree with that or not is irrelevant. But it was still kind of a nice song. Called Gospel in the Strip. Like I say, I covered it on the video this morning. It's a longer video. Feel free to comment it after the fact because live chat doesn't always show, and because it's not live now. This one is. Although sometimes we do different ones. But I'm trying to remember. I do still have Mama Said, and I do still have. I could do honey again, or I could do peanut butter. But trying to remember at what point in the video it was in. I'm just going to take a random guess. I keep meaning to chat through them, and I do kind of have the time, but it's always new distractions, but I'll try to. I'm going to guess it was the almost 3-hour video, about 45 minutes into the video. At most an hour and a half. I know, there's a bit of a jump for you. I don't know that song, although it does kind of make me think of a funny song from childhood. I don't know if you have kids, if you have them around you, or if the second person does. I'm an entertainer at heart. And with music that often doesn't know an age. I'm also a bit of a kid at heart, I suppose. By the way, though, I do just want to kind of go back to you saying you are worthy. It's important that you like yourself and stuff like that. Because I was actually just looking at this on the other day, but I don't know it. And Rick Clark and all the others. But because I'm glad that you found a way to have that kind of mindset with your Christianity, to be open minded and accepting and loving, because that's how it should be. It's very interesting also that you mentioned Jack Johnson, um, Jack Johnson, because my friend Ray that passed liked some of his music. I remember that's something I do remember. I only know one. I almost covered it recently, but for whatever reason decided not to. I know the title of that Pancake song, but other than that, I don't know it. So, but the song I was thinking of was actually kind of interesting because it's, I believe, made famous by a local somebody who's been pretty famous where I'm from. um, and you might remember this from your childhood. I don't know what age range you're in, but some songs truly transcend the years, right? And it's something like sandwiches are beautiful, sandwiches are fine. About 12 years older than me, 10 or 11, 10, yeah, something like that. My dad's been passed away for 28 years. I thought about that the other day and I did the math. 28, 29 years? I mean, I was young, but it's craziness. How time goes. Sandwiches are beautiful, sandwiches are fine. I like sandwiches, I eat them all the time. I eat them for my dinner and I eat them for my lunch. If I had 100 sandwiches, I'd eat them all at once. Really? So you must have been pretty young too. I'm gonna guess maybe in high school, which is interesting. I recently saw somebody do a performance, and it was based on their life. And her dad had passed away um, near around her graduation, which I think she said that she didn't go to, or she didn't go to the party, but she unfortunately was also a bit of a outcast, I guess. Do you believe in the afterlife? Out of curiosity, you didn't, eh? Well, I mean, and when you lose them young, I mean, you can only know them so well. But I mean, like mine was a workaholic. I had CYWs, I had extracurricular activities, I had school, but she did help in the schools sometimes. Um, you're not sure, but okay, I think I get what you're saying. Um, because there's something I kind of want to share with you. And I think that, aside from enjoying the conversation and the music, you're here and you're still here today. And I think there's a reason for that, aside from those reasons. And possibly for the other person that's in the corner watching quietly. Um, I know you're fairly new to my content, so you probably don't know this, but I do talk about it every now and then. I I sense the other side. I feel from the other side. You're like, I'm listening. You did say you're Christian though, so I was a little bit hesitant. Um, I mostly do this for my own loved ones and for my own healing. I'm still human though. You know, sometimes it's really deep and it's deep. And they still aren't here physically. So I mean, any of my loved ones that have passed away, and some of the ones that haven't. But you believe me. I think I get what you're saying with that. Oh, you have. Oh, really? I'd be curious to hear one that stands out. You could call them NDEs too, but I don't always feel like I don't know if it's quite the same feeling. A lot of times NDEs happen in a coma, I would say. And it's really interesting because I don't want to interrupt you trying to pick an experience to share because I'm very curious. Uh, but I am thinking of my friend Ray again, who was in a coma. And other loved ones. And here's the thing. Here's the thing. For the other person that's watching who's not sure what to make of this, or anybody else who sees this, although it's an hour in, um, I can usually tell when it is a message coming from a message or a thought of mine or of a loved one's. Sometimes it kind of a bit of both, like we're both kind of thinking the same thing. And that's kind of what this is an example of. But first, and sure, you did share with me that your dad had passed away, and I do this. Maybe I clicked on a little bit. But no, I honestly and truly feel like your dad is just wanting to thank you for being such a great person and for being there as best as you can for the people in your life. He's very proud of the woman that you are and who you're becoming. And I know I'm sure thankful to have connected with you and have you here as well. So, let's take this interesting name. Interesting name. Um, I can't but think of the cat. But I think I have heard of it. I've also heard there's a state with that name. Um, and there's also there's a famous one, I believe. But it's also interesting because my dad had a yeah, that's what I was thinking. Had a Gar name as well, actually. Um, but yeah, so that's kind of a message from him that I said, really, yeah, about the name and about what I said, yes and yes. Um, and also, but yeah, basically, we're kind of deja vu. Oh well, thanks for coming back, Coco. Oh, you've missed some good stuff, but you can catch up later. um, if or you can look at other content. I'm the one that's mostly in the lives. The other ones, which is their own video category, is mostly just piano, and that. And yeah, I think I did in the Maxi stream that we were just watching. Um, yeah, and his middle initials, if we're going to go with the first two, is RO. If that's a quinky dink for you as well. The last name is not that similar, but that's okay. Um, really, it's an RO as well, is it? Like REO Speedwagon? Just kidding. I don't know if I know very many of their songs. Um, I'm curious because, well, although now it says one again. I'm not sure which, and it's also interesting that you specifically tagged me. But I understand maybe his phone died again, or their phone died again because tried to use it before it had gotten enough charge. I know it's tempting sometimes, right? But really, sometimes we should just let our phone charge. And in fact, both of mine are over there. I can do that shortly. Um, I can talk about this particular topic for another 10 minutes. And then if there's one more song, because I was kind of surprised how into that song I got. Not because it's not a good song, but like I didn't think I had the energy to belt it like that. So there might be another one under the belt, so to speak. um, But um, one thing that also I value is because live chat doesn't always show afterwards. If you want to, once this is posted, wait a few minutes and then summarize. Maybe not about this latter topic, because I know that people have opinions about a lot of stuff, but summarize what you enjoyed most from it, so that it shows underneath the video, not hidden, possibly visible or not visible in the live chat. Then that would be great. I appreciate that. And yes, I kind of am. I don't know if I'd say highly, but somewhat highly regarded, highly acclaimed. No, just kidding. The other thing that I could share with you about me, well, it's just the two of us here, as I believe it is, because this is well into the video. I am in the GLBT community. And so aside from Maxie being talented and seeming like a great person, it's kind of hard to not also think, yeah, he's good looking. Some straight guys may say that too, but I honestly think they're a little bit not straight. Not saying they're gay, but anyway. Oh, did you? Am I that flamboyant? No, sometimes I am, but I just get passionate and happy and passionate. It's funny though, because the other day one of his viewers was watching one of my videos, and I was talking about a breathing technique that I did. Enough respect, nothing but respect. Is that what you mean? Oh, interesting. Holla. Okay, now it's coming out of me. I'm coming out. Didn't I say something in the title? Somebody would end up coming out. That could mean anything. It could mean anything. I would agree that it's best not to assume, because I have utilized agencies where I've used that word and they still say wife, and it turns me off to the point where, I maybe give them a chance or two. I don't really want to correct them because it's 2025. They shouldn't assume, and they work in a diverse community. And it gets to the point where I no longer call them anymore, and then I don't have that resource. Okay. I'm trying to think of a bit of Rastafarian as well, but I don't know any. But yeah, so and I between you and me, I don't know if he's just tuned in or if he's ever seen this, but not like it's an insult. I kind of wonder if Maxie, or maybe that's just something I would hope, if he ever came to Canada, or if I ever came, I don't know. Anyway, but it's of course not. Did I seem like I was? But no, I'm just saying that I'm just saying. Is that Rastafarian? Just kidding. That the people at this place that I was referring to, they do, and I mean, some of the newer ones, and yet they stick around. I mean, the guy, the boss, is kind of religious, and I unfortunately had to be a Karen once, for lack of a different way of saying it, and I called and it says, oh no, that was that guy did something else, but the two women, middle-aged women, one is religious, and actually has a mutual with me that passed away, was actually a church deacon. Anywho, and I said, I spoke about how it kind of turned me off that they were doing this, and he said they would talk to them, and maybe they fixed it, but I haven't been able to get past the stupidity that they would even assume when I'm using this language, spouse and they. Most of them matter somewhat, and that's the thing. So that was what gave it away, is it? My spouse is older, and doesn't mean to be ignorant, but sometimes is, like about coworkers. Says, well, they have a wife. That doesn't necessarily say anything other than that he has a wife. And hopefully they have a good life. Happy, I'm also kind of poly, but again, I'm really being out there. But those are most of my secrets to make the world go around. Yeah. Yeah. So now that the other person has left, I'm actually back. So I would say Pam, but I see them as practically the same thing. Practically. I actually think most my people are probably a little bit non-binary too, but I could be wrong. Who was it? Oh, right. Yeah, but I can't remember what it was. He was even wilder than me. Not that I'm that wild, but and this guy I followed, I don't follow him anymore. I can't. I wish I could remember why, but I can't. But he used to do that too. He was on the autism spectrum, and he was like Jim Carrey, Robin Williams, and somebody else I couldn't identify, all rolled into one sometimes. And he would do the heart thing, and every now and then he would sound like a dolphin, like I can't do it, but it was like a vocalization thing he made because of his form of autism, which yes, I'm on the spectrum of that too. I promise, those are all my secrets. I mean, I deal with depression and anxiety sometimes, and ADHD, and all the human stuff. You know, not all of it, but you know, I grapple with my faith, but I try to have strong faith. I'm doing this with my hands, and I don't know if it's autistic, and I don't usually, but I'm passionate. I worked with autistic kids at the high school here for a couple of years. I also knew that. Oh, you also picked up on that. Oh, really? And we're communicating, you know, written to video. But I've noticed that it seems like people in writing with each other. I mean, everybody's different, and some people struggle with it more. But the autistics seem to understand each other, or I don't know. They're just people that take the time to and have the curiosity. Yeah, that's me. High functioning, highly sensitive, spectrum this, spectrum that. You can delete it afterwards, but I would love if you would be open to sharing like an email address. I don't think you have channel content, an email address so we can stay in touch. One of his other viewers is open to doing that, and we've tried to do it, but as you may have noticed, he said he didn't receive the message, and I didn't give mine, I don't think, because I figured his is good enough. Well, I did. I said it verbally anyway. But yes, because we seem to have a lot of respect for each other and in common, and I don't think I'm that much of an introvert, but you know, I respect you as you are. I will tell you though that that there's a second person that just tuned in, so you might want to hold on that for a moment. But yeah, I don't know. Is there a song we want to wrap this up with? Like I say, I did some pretty interesting, deep songs earlier, I feel, in that really long video. Not this one, the other one, today. It's been 2 days in a row of being really YouTubey. Thank you. Thank you. I mean, and you as well. And I did tell your dad. Yes, because, I mean, I know like the people, the individuals in our household, I know that. A couple other people maybe. YouTube land. Other social media. I do see it a little bit. Sometimes not as much as I might like or feel like I would need. But I know when it's doing a good thing for me. And but as I may have alluded to in the Maxi chat, because I was being pretty open there too, you know, I don't have a lot of living local family. Or living, you know, so many of them have passed away. And a couple of them are estranged. And this is why I was also kind of worried, even though he was adding the la la la's as part of that song with that individual talking about the aunt and uncle or father or whatever. You know, I had a flashback almost of somebody, a young guy I knew in the UK who was living with his parents and locked himself in his room. I mean, he was in his early 20s or maybe 19, because he just, I can't remember the details. This goes back a while, but he just didn't feel okay around them. And then, was it him? I think it was Matt that had an uncle that I think he lived with, but I'm not sure. And I mean, you know, and he had one good friend who I kept trying to encourage him to reach out to him. I think he didn't want to bother him. I think that or burden him. Maybe he knew stuff about the guy I didn't, probably. And um, yeah, but I did say something else, but I'll take it because I'm in touch with my masculine side. Um, but yeah, so I mean, so you relate to that too. I mean, and mostly acquaintances these days. But I mean, again, so many people have passed away. Like, why does it keep happening to me? Um, even with abilities, it's like it's I'm ready to wrap up pretty soon too. And the second person is being kind of shy. I hope you hear. Don't forget to like. And yeah, I hope that. And they left. I just want to quickly address the rest of your comment before you leave. I'm hoping it's you that's still here. Yep, you too. And I do say okie dokie sometimes as well. And yeah, what I was alluding to there is I'm NB, if you know what that means. Uh, but the second person came here. But yeah, like I say, I've only kind of been recently looking at that, and I'm comfortable with who I am in general. So mostly, would I like to be more successful in some areas and reaching goals? Of course, but I do my best. And some people don't set goals because you can be disappointed when you don't reach them sometimes, right? But that's what I would say. If it is not a goal that is not something that's harming anybody else, and it's something you really want, and you know it when it keeps coming to you, and you're like other things might, but it's the strongest. This drop-in center is kind of one of those things. It's kind of like um, I was gonna say something um, a moment or two ago that has eluded me already, but essentially, you know, don't give up. Um, I mean, it was going to be a bit more fancy sounding or a bit more whatever than that, but if it pops into my mind randomly later, maybe I'll put it in the comments. Again, I would appreciate it if you could do that thing, one or both of you, do that thing where you summarize for those that see this afterwards and may not notice the live chat. Maybe not that one particular thing, but you can summarize kind of, what this video was about and what you liked about it after a few minutes after it's posted. That way that shows, some people go by how well does the video look like it's doing instead of checking it out. And yeah, they get long sometimes, but whatever. Anyway, I'm wrapping it up. Have a great day. And maybe we'll talk more about goals later. Okay, bye.